Hey everyone, it's the Vegan Preppers here, bringing you another couples chat episode in front of the toy cabinet in the living room. It's weird to film different every time, but you know. But yeah, just bringing our unique perspective on current events, share what's going on in our lives. It's kind of what this is about. And I guess one of the biggest updates is that this right here, all this is apparently Windex's streak-free shine. Good job, Windex.
Yep.
So yeah. Anyway.
We are not sponsored by Windex.
We're definitely not sponsored by Windex. Oh gosh. Anyway, so yeah. I don't know if that's better than all the handprints that were there before, but yeah. So anyway, I guess you want to start your thing, or what are we going to talk about first?
Well, we use food update, I guess.
Oh yeah, I guess we should like have a plan before we start, but whatever. We're preppers, not planners. It's different. Okay. Yeah, so we're continuing in our April no spend month and continuing also the healthy eating. For me, weight loss. For Adam, just, clean eating and athletic training and stuff. So
yeah.
Last time we shared, you were angry.
Yes. I got better though. Seem to have gotten over the hump of nonstop wanting to eat candy and chips and sodas and all the things that I don't really eat a lot of anyways, but as soon as I couldn't, then yes, there was anger about it. So, but yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I got some of it out of my system, like physically out of my system, not just like mentally, but because it's stuff that we eat really affects our physiology and our guts and our everything. So there's chemical attachments to those foods. So yeah, it seems like I've gotten some of that out of my system, and I am feeling better about the whole thing.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Not craving all that stuff anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's really important to mention and talk about that. Like there's a real, like you said, a physiological thing going on. There's the bacteria that colonize our gut are there because they digest certain foods. And this is not like woo-woo nonsense. This is like documented now that there are actually neurons in our intestines where these bacteria can communicate directly with our brain, and we think it's us craving a thing, and it's not even really us, it's the bacteria in our gut. So like when we stop eating a certain food, and if they begin to die off, especially, they might have an extinction, an extinction flare is what it's called, where like all of a sudden they kind of overpopulate and in a last ditch attempt to make themselves survive, and then they're crying out for their food, so that when we stop eating certain foods, that's why sometimes you can feel like you're going crazy, or you feel like I'm gonna die if I don't get to eat this thing. But it's not you that's gonna die if you don't eat that thing, it's the bacteria in your gut, and they're tricking you into thinking that their cries for that food is you. It's not even you, it's your bacteria. So yeah, I think a lot of like mentally knowing that helps a lot. Like when you start getting those cravings, even to just have that moment of that mental disconnect, it's like, that's actually not really me. So.
And it's not your body telling you that you need that thing.
Exactly.
Like,
preach.
I know tons of people who go vegan have a really hard time giving up cheese. And cheese is a huge addictive chemical bomb.
Yeah.
I didn't have that problem because I don't like cheese. So that was easy for me. But yeah, acknowledging that that's not your body telling you that you are going to die or get sick or fall apart if you don't eat cheese. That is something that your body doesn't need, telling you that it needs something that it doesn't need.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting rid of that bacteria that's been built up trying to digest that thing, getting that out of your system, and replacing it with things that digest carrots is a good thing.
Well, yeah, that's another reason, like I did my bean video, you didn't watch it yet, but I sang at the end of my dehydrated bean weight test video, and I did beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, and then I don't know, it was something the more you decrease your risk of heart disease and cholesterol and all this, and then at the end it's like, and actually the less you toot. Really, honestly, it's the more you eat, the less you toot, because you're repopulating the bacteria in your gut, and the more beans you eat, the less you react to beans. Like at this point, I don't get gassy from eating beans anymore. I just eat beans.
I still do a little bit because I don't eat a lot of beans.
You still don't eat as many as you should, I guess. I don't know, but yeah.
Still warming up to beans.
Yes. Yeah, beans has been a hard food for you. Yeah, for sure. But anyway, yeah, and tastes change, and it's good. It's really interesting to like actually see it happen in my own body and in your own body, like the changes. Because I've been vegan going on 4 years now, and you actually just had your vegan anniversary.
Yep.
Which one was it?
3.
3 years. So you've been vegan 3 years now. Okay. And so, because I remember, like, my one of my stories I tell, and I don't know if I already told it, so sorry if I already told it, but was like going through Costco when I was first vegan, and the smell of like the bacon or whatever they were cooking, but a lot of times it's bacon. And the smell would go through the store, and I'd smell it and be like, oh, like there was part of me that was wanting it, and like unhappy I don't get to eat that now, but not like unhappy. That might not be the right word. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like that thing that smells really good is a thing that is no longer a food of mine. It wasn't like I wished I could go back to killing pigs to eat bacon. So, you know what I mean? So there's still the moral thing that was like, no, I'm not eating that bacon. But, it smelled good at first. But the funny thing was, and I just like, oh, no, I can't eat that thing. But then I went through the store one time, and it was really funny because the smell came through for the bacon. And I geared myself up to be like, oh no, it's that thing I can't eat. But I can't remember how many months into it was. But this time around, because I was expecting to have that same feeling of like, oh, I can't eat that anymore, I started noticing that instead of having that feeling, I noticed my body was responding, and I was actually getting nauseous. I was like, with the smell of the bacon. And it was just a really interesting thing. It wasn't like I watched extra documentaries to bolster myself up to resist the bacon or anything like that. But it was like, I really believe that it was just the changing of the bacteria in the gut. Where like now, to this day, the smell of cooking meat is disgusting to me. Like it does create that response inside of me where it's just like I might as well be smelling poop, for how it just is disgusting to me. And it isn't like something where I'm like bolstering myself up originally, but I just really honestly think there's nothing left in me that digests that. There is no part of me now that recognizes that as food. So it doesn't even smell appetizing to me anymore.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting that happened. Like, that was not a thing that I expected to happen. So yeah, anyway, whatever. But yeah, awesome. So you're doing your healthy, clean eating, and you're doing well.
Yep.
Good. Yay. I'm glad that you're not pissed about it anymore.
Me too.
Yeah. So, anyway.
What's up with you?
Gosh, I keep talking again. But I have switched, actually. So I was kind of trying to do maximum weight loss at first. But I have fully switched now over to Eat to Live. As much as I am aware, I'm still not through the whole book. It's a big book. But I'm doing like guidelines that I found like on Pinterest for right now. And then I kind of skimmed the guidelines, but right now I'm reading all of the information, and it's amazing how going even stricter has actually been really helpful to me. And it's just gotten to the point where I'm just telling other people to make their own food. Like, they're old enough. There's plenty of opportunities for food. And then I'm cooking things for you guys, and then we're just sort of like changing it a little bit. Like they'll have rice and I won't. And so anyway, at some point I will do a video where I outline all of the differences from all of the different programs. So I'm actually kind of like, I feel kind of amazing. Like I'm losing a ton of weight. I'm buzzing with energy. I'm so full of all of these phytonutrients and like all this raw fruit and veg. And it's just like, I don't know, I feel amazing. So yeah, I'm loving it. I feel like we were just talking the other day, it feels somehow different this time. Like,
yeah,
I have zero left to give about like making people like my food, you know, was another thing that kind of hit me all of a sudden, like how long I have worked at trying to make my vegan food palatable to people who don't eat that way. And I'm realizing I don't care anymore about pandering to tastes that are so radically different to my own.
Yeah.
Because it's like trying to get them to accept it validates what I'm doing. And it's like, I don't care if you like my oil-free mashed potatoes or not. I really like them. They're really good.
They're good.
We have got to get a video of Mr. Vegan Prepper's oil-free mashed potatoes. That's got to be in the vegan home cooking playlist on the channel because they're insane. And that is absolutely it's his recipe. It's his thing that he does. So it's really good. But yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. No, I think so. Everybody thinks so, except for like one random person who has zero taste. Sorry. There was an incident. I don't know if we should talk about it or not.
Yeah, that's cool.
It wasn't somebody wasn't directly rude. It was an overheard conversation. It was just like, fine, I'm done. I'm done with people who think that you need an entire stick of butter and, half a gallon of cream to make potatoes taste good. They already taste good. It's ridiculous. Anyway. All right. I'm good. Cool. I think I'm good. Is that it?
I think so.
The no spend month though, it's going well.
Yeah.
I was mad at first about not spending money. That's where I was finding myself like angry. They say hangry for like when so I was like, mangry? Like I'm getting to spend money or
spangry?
Spangry? I don't know. But I've actually really settled into it, and both of us think that we're gonna go ahead and continue through May now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like honestly, like we were kind of talking about in the beginning, the combination of the two has created this beautiful safe space for the healthy eating.
Yep.
Where it's like I'm having success like I've never had before, and I think a lot of it is because I'm not even allowed to like buy a little thing here and there or whatever, and so
yeah, like going to buy a Whopper for lunch, Impossible Whopper, not a cow Whopper. It's not even a possibility. It makes it easier to not be lazy and go and get that for lunch.
That's what he does. He does Impossible Whoppers.
Yes, I did.
Well, I did. Yeah.
They're not healthy. It's not. Yeah. So there's two reasons not to go get it. One, I'm not allowed to spend the money on it. I'm not spending the money on it. And two, it's not healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do appreciate that there are plant-based vegan options for people to transition away from eating burgers and stuff, but let's not pretend that the Impossible Whopper is health food. It is not health food. It is a very highly processed food. So
right. But I mean, it is gosh, yeah, that's a whole other topic. Like the huge influx into the market of vegan junk.
Yes.
It's like even
so much of it.
Even 3 years ago, like like 3.5 years ago, whenever it was that I went vegan, I was pregnant with Sage when I went vegan. Even then it was like there were like no options anywhere.
Maybe
like
10% of what's out there now.
it's insane. Just in this last few years, the growth of that industry, that market. They figured out that they can make money off it, right?
Correct.
So they're pumping the market full of all this stuff, and I'm angry about it in a lot of ways. I'm just kidding, because it's like at first it was so easy to be healthy as a vegan because there just were not options. Like, so vegan used to be a healthy kind of thing for the most part. I mean, there was still vegan junk food to be had, Coca-Cola, Oreos, whatever, things that are technically vegan because they're not made with anything that's natural at all. And so, like, yeah, just because it doesn't have any animal products, it's like, yeah, well, it's made of plastic. So like, what are you gonna get? But now it's like I can go to Whole Foods and they have a whole selection of stuff in the bakery. Little chocolate chip cookies, vegan. Brownies, vegan. Donuts, vegan. Like, vegan cupcakes, vegan, also. So it's kind of nice, I guess, like for birthdays, maybe, to be able to grab. But the fact that it's becoming so pervasive and so accessible is actually, like, really annoying to me. So now, like, before, I didn't have to resist anything. Like we were talking about almost like with the bacon. Like, I got to the point where I'm not resisting anything. I don't want that. And, like, I guess sometimes it's hard, I think, for certain people to understand that. Like, with veganism. And they're like, oh, you can't eat that cake. And I'm like, it's got eggs in it or whatever. So you don't understand. I literally there's no part of me that desires to eat that. If it contains, milk or egg or whatever, I'm like, that's not food. That's not my food. That's not food to me now. So there's literally no part of me that desires that thing if it's not vegan. But if it's a vegan thing covered in frosting and chocolate, like all that, oh my gosh, now I have to resist. And it's just really annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's slightly easier for me because I have a chocolate allergy. So it seems like every single dessert out there is chocolate based. So
yeah. Yeah.
It's a little bit of an out there.
Yeah. It is. So yeah, you have an advantage. But I love chocolate. I really love chocolate. I'm a stereotypical woman over here, I guess, eating my chocolate. But yeah, I don't know. So it's annoying to me, but also kind of looking ahead in the next years, there's probably going to be a lot of stuff coming out about vegans dying young, and they have the same rates of heart disease as the meat eating counterparts, and blah blah blah. I'm just like, I am predicting these studies are going to start coming out, and it's because they're not going to be looking at the fact that these vegans, it's like if it's a trans fat, saturated fat, all of that cholesterol and junk and processed and sugar and all, like, it's gonna kill you whether it's mixed with an egg or it's not. Okay, like it's bad. So anyway,
high fructose corn syrup is vegan.
Yeah,
but you don't want to eat that crap.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just predicting it's gonna start happening, and people are gonna start going, "See, it's not healthy to be vegan." It's like, and even like you said, it's plant-based. The marketers have stolen that term. That term used to be like, euphemism was vegan is the ethical thing, and then plant-based is for the health. But now they've stolen it, and Impossible Whoppers are plant-based. Anyway, all right.
That's cool.
Why don't you talk? You want to talk
Moving
about
on.
Your thing that you want to talk about.
So, big news story this week is a crazy increase in COVID cases in India.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, clearly COVID is still a thing, and still affecting people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that I bring it up is that India is a major producer of items and food. So, not to come across as selfish or anything, but things that affect other countries affect us. So, I feel for the people, and I hope they're all going to be okay and all that. But when we do see news stories like this, it's important to consider how that's going to affect us here in the States. So selfishly, my favorite food right now is chana dal, and India is the largest producer of that bean in the world. So
It's
let's
like
stock up on chana dal.
the only bean that you really like.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. But so that's something to consider in the next coming weeks. Is that there is a possibility of shortages of items that come from India due to increased restrictions and increased quarantines. And I'm not specific on what they are doing in response to it. I know that their systems are struggling a bit right now.
Yeah, the health system is overwhelmed, but it's just, I guess, the trickle down effect. Point being, the reason that we bring it up, and obviously, yeah, it's very sad for the people dealing with it, is, you know, that's part of what we do as preppers, is you sort of try to look, and then hopefully none of your predictions come true.
Yep.
But you look and you think, that might mean something, you know. So that's what it is. I'm thinking like ginger, turmeric, spice, like turmeric, like. So that actually has me thinking I might need to start figuring out how to grow it. You know, so little things like that, like figuring that kind of stuff out. But I'm probably going to go ahead and buy another couple pounds of turmeric, dry it up, and maybe grab some fresh while I can and freeze it. So just little things like that, you know. And again, it's not to be, selfish or whatever, but just okay, all right, that's happening now. Let's look at it and figure out what we might need to do. But just in general, and I think it segues into foodflation and food shortages in general. You know, we're beginning to see some of the trickle down effects of what we've been through in the last year. The other thing, of course, to be aware of, if there's a major influx or a major rise in cases in India, something like that could happen again here. They could shut everything down again here.
I feel like their finger's on the trigger. They're just waiting for a target with this shutting stuff down again.
I don't know. And again, I don't really know what the solution is. I personally don't think the solution is shutting everything down. Because then it just continues. You're making it tomorrow's problem. You're creating new problems in the future. And this is what we're definitely seeing now with food shortages. And I don't know, like, if you've noticed, like, the quality of certain items, of like there might be some things still in the store, but the quality seems to have taken a major hit. Potatoes, mainly. And you've noticed how bad the potatoes are lately. And it's not like every now and then you get a bag of bad potatoes, but it's been like consistently every single bag of potatoes we've bought in the last couple months has been just awful, like almost completely rotted through. And I'm starting to see just a few things here and there. So
I wonder if they're like old crops or something that they're just bagging up, and I don't know how that works, but
I don't know. I don't know. They've been sitting for too long, and then they're going out anyway to fill demand. I don't know. So it's just...
As you figure, something that is affecting us today is a 6 months or 9 months ago problem. You know, because it takes a long time for that thing that's supposed to get planted to turn into food on our table. So if somebody's too sick to plant it, then we're not going to notice today. We're going to notice 6 months down the road.
Or if they're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Or if their workforce was cut down, you know, and they're implementing, you know, safety measures or whatever, and so now they're not allowed to work as fast as they used to work, and there's just all kinds of stuff. But like, it isn't even only the COVID stuff. It's we've had that giant blizzard in Texas wiped out tons of crops. I was actually seeing on my stalking group in Facebook, so I get a lot of my kind of what's going on my stalking group on Facebook. And the ladies from all over and men too, I guess, mostly ladies though, to all over the country, talking about, you know, food shortages. And one of them is pet food, like cat food and dog food, major shortage of pet foods. And a lot of it is traced back to like some of these blizzards. I'm pretty sure there was flooding somewhere else. Like I don't remember the details. I'm trying to remember, but There's been a lot of natural disasters that have wiped out crops. And then there's also been quarantine. There's also been shutdown. So none of this is like, the sky is falling. But it's like just, and now, yeah, huge rise of cases again in India. And so it's just sort of like, we look like we're getting back to quote unquote normal. It's just, I'm going to keep stocking. I'm going to keep purchasing a little extra here and there. With Azure standard probably. And yeah.
Yeah, because it's amazing how just a little thing, I mean, we are so like programmed to go to the store and expect there to be food there. Mm-hmm. You might eat an avocado a day. And all it takes is like a abnormal frost in California, and then suddenly you don't have avocados anymore.
Yeah.
For a year or better, or longer than that if the crops get destroyed. I mean, it's trees. Or the prices go up significantly because they're being shipped in from other countries. Mm-hmm. It takes one freak event to completely change the way we get our food and what we will be seeing in the stores when we get there.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it too. And this is the thing too, where it's like some people say, oh, you're being crazy. But it's like we've seen it on a smaller scale, right? Like I don't know if anybody remembers, like a couple years ago or like 2-3 years ago, there was a pumpkin shortage. Do y'all remember that? And everybody's trying to get their pumpkin for, pumpkin pies, for whatever Thanksgiving, Christmas. And you cannot find pumpkin anywhere in the store. Canned pumpkin is just gone because they had some flood that wiped out the pumpkin crops. I know another few summers ago, do you remember it was completely impossible to find organic grapes? Mm-hmm. And if you did, it was like $8 a pound because there was some sort of thing that happened with the grape producers and something wiped out a whole bunch of grapes, and so you couldn't even get grapes. So this is nothing new. This is something that we've actually seen before, but it's been kind of piecemeal, like one little thing here and one little thing here. So
vanilla prices went up like quadruple. Vanilla prices went up because there was some.
Oh, vanilla! Yeah, you're right.
Some weird crop thing.
It was, I'm pretty sure. Actually, now that you mentioned it might have been a frost.
Maybe.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But something wiped out vanilla pods and vanilla crops, and vanilla either disappeared or like quadrupled in price.
It's like $30 a bottle for like a little.
Yeah. So these are things that have happened before in like a little bit at a time, and so it's just sort of recognizing that it is something that can happen. So it's important to stock. It's important to make sure that you're prepared. And that's a lot of why we're here talking about this, because we want to bring awareness as much as possible. So like we have said before, mission is to create more stability in the world, more peace. And really, every new prepper that's made is another little pocket of peace, and a little pocket of stability. Because that person is not freaking out. If stuff is gone, they know what they're doing. They're set. At least for a period of time. So.
Yeah, and even if you consider you have a 3 or 6 month supply of food, you're not necessarily going to have to eat from that for that entire period of time, but you could. Mm-hmm. But you figure you're insulating yourself from the waves of just unpredictability.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could see if something happened with wheat. I mean, it's pretty much all grown in like one chunk of the country. And that's like huge. I mean, that's like everything.
Well, it's like when COVID first hit and it was completely impossible to find flour. Yep. I don't know if anybody remembers, like flour was the thing I remember I could not find anywhere.
Suddenly everybody bakes bread, apparently.
Then once it came back in the stores, it was like you were only allowed one bag. It was like 1 5-pound bag or something. Like, are you serious? It's like, again. So, and that too, where it's like they start putting limits on stuff again. Yep. So it's like getting yourself set up, especially if you have a somewhat bigger family, more mouths to feed, So anyway, just good to go. So get this book. This is the book, The One. I love this book. It's my absolute favorite book. I keep recommending it. I'm like 3 pages away from actually finishing it. But it's incredible.
How many pages are in it?
I don't know, like a couple hundred, 150, 100 something. It's like I'm in the part where she's talking about converting recipes, and it's all, you know, convert cheese and I don't care about any of that crap. So it's definitely not a vegan book. There's stuff in here about hunting and livestock. So I guess it's good to know if you want to have that information. It's in here. But other than, I mean, there's just such excellent information. And so like she has the shelf life page where it's like pretty much everything is vegan on this page. The stuff that lasts absolutely forever. I don't know if I should be showing it and like giving away the information, but it's
Probably not in any great quantity.
Full of incredible information. That page is the one that I go to more often than any other, which is why it's marked. But yeah, it's incredible. So it's a segue into my thing that, you know, because it's like with the whole Eat to Live program and eating so much produce, that is kind of the one thing that I'm like a little bit like, what do we do if we're eating from our stores? One thing I guess we would just adapt, right? We were talking about the adaptability of our gut bacteria.
Yeah.
They would repopulate, they would adapt to eating, you know, grains and beans and just, you know, kind of ad nauseum. But hopefully not nauseum. But I'm actually like, so now I'm kind of looking ahead too for myself. And so I've got we've got tons of wheat berries and tons of good stuff in the store now. And this book is, yeah, just this book. She mentions that another great way that you can have fresh food for yourself is sprouting. So if you're storing whole wheat berries, you can turn that into sprouts, and you have now a vegetable. That's not just a grain. Yeah, it's like a vegetable now. And so that's great. So I'm actually sprouting on our counter right now. I'm sprouting some wheat berries, some spelt berries, and some lentils. So I'm like, okay, sweet, that sounds awesome. We can have some fresh food, but I need to learn how to do that. I need to know how to do it before I have to, right? So I'm working on that now. That's my current project in the kitchen. I'm doing a bunch of sprouting. So, and then also some of it's going to be learning how to potentially make my own sprouted flours now that I have my grain mill and, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, sprouting is an option. So you're not necessarily only stocking up on grains. If you're stocking up on big bags of wheat berries and stuff, you may be able to, you'll turn that into veggies basically, you know, sprouting. So it's just an idea.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, the Mylar bag thing. I'm gonna talk about.
What about it?
That we're going to do a video.
Oh yeah. Hey, we're gonna do a video. We actually spent I don't know, half of Sunday last week.
It was at least 8 hours.
It was crazy. Yeah, we did Mylar bag storage. We did so much stuff. We've been kind of putting it off for a while because we wanted to just do it all at once, which was a terrible idea.
Well, it was because of the oxygen absorbers.
Yes.
Not wanting to open the oxygen absorbers until we have, you know, we would use up a whole bag. We used a whole bag and more.
2,
oh my gosh.
3,
Yeah.
2.5 bags.
Yeah.
So, yes, we got quite a lot of experience doing that, and we will be doing a smaller Mylar bag storage project, and we will do a video on that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we learned a few things doing it for a whole day. And yeah, so that will be coming up probably in the next couple weeks. So.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to get that out for you guys, and yeah, learn like little things about oxygen absorbers and like, anyway, there's a lot of really good information, methodology to it, and yeah. How much fits in what size bag and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll bring all that out to you guys. In the meantime, there's a million other really great Mylar bag videos. Actually, I will go ahead and link one down below, the one from Guildbrook Farm. I just love Guildbrook Farm. They're a really great channel. It's not vegan. They're really great. And so, yeah, Guildbrook Farm is fantastic. They have a lot of really good information. So I've watched a lot of the videos to get information on canning and all kinds of stuff. So anyway. I like that lady. She looks exactly like your mom.
Yep.
She does, like 100%. It's hilarious. It's weird.
It is weird.
Obviously younger, because she's much younger than Adam's mom, but yeah, she's like the spitting. I want to like put a picture of your mom so people can see that lady looks exactly like your mom. It's crazy.
My mom disagrees, but yeah.
She disagrees?
Yeah.
Did you tell me that already?
No, you told me that.
That she said that she doesn't look like that. It's funny. I don't
Maybe
remember
they
this.
Don't look like, I don't know. Yes, months
What
ago.
mirror is she looking in?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
even know. Like, I was like, Jake said that he didn't look like that guy. That, oh man, that's hilarious.
Exactly.
So I see people sometimes like, you look exactly like this person, and then the person's like, no, you don't. Okay, fine. I guess you don't see yourself.
People say I look exactly like Gwen Stefani. I don't see the resemblance, but I guess we're both thin.
You are joking, right? Okay. Sometimes I can't tell. It's like 17 years married to you. Sometimes I still can't tell. Oh my gosh. That's pretty funny. I actually think he looks a little like Vision. When he, like, I don't know if you guys have watched WandaVision, but I feel like Adam absolutely has to do, like, for Halloween, you have to do, like, a Vision cosplay. Paint yourself red, get your little jewel, the whole costume and everything.
Sounds like a plan. This is information you guys need.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. We're still filming. Okay, I guess we need to cut it off. Because now I'm getting all distracted, because we'll totally make it out of the house once he gets dressed up like that. No, you're so hot. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love you.
I love you.
Sorry, this is still not information that they need. Okay, cool. I guess we'll cut it off. So yeah, Mylar bag video. Look for it. There's also an instant meal video that is currently in the works, aka I'm editing it, and it's taking forever. So yeah.
I think I might get a 5-minute review out this week.
Oh, nice.
We'll see.
Nice. Good. What are you reviewing? Oh,
Knife.
you're precious. Spoilers, he likes it. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad you like it. All right. Okay, then. I guess that's it. So, as always, I hope the rest of your day is good and your life stays wonderful. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
Bye.